Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We're going to continue with the story of Elijah and remember how he was living at a time when there wasn't any rain and the crops were not growing. So, if there were no crops growing, there was no food and there was nothing to put on the table. And God made arrangements and helped him stay with some people in a place where it was safe. And God provided food the whole time that it was going on. He was staying with a woman and her son. And this is a picture of what it might have looked like a little bit. See the woman and her son and how much they're caring for each other. And Elijah's in the background. And if you look over his shoulder, you can even see the birds that were so much a good part of his life. Elijah stayed with the woman and her son. Each day, God gave them food to eat. One day, the woman's son got sick. He was very ill. That's been going on a lot lately, hasn't it? A lot of people have been getting sick and having trouble breathing and some of them having to go to the hospital. That's one reason why everything has been so upside down and topsy-turvy and everything like that in the past few months, and why you had to finish up school at home. Well, this boy himself got sick. It wasn't that one of the adults around him got sick or his teachers or anybody like that. He himself got sick. And then suddenly the boy stopped breathing. That's not a good sign. The woman was very sad and upset. She said, "Elijah, why did this happen to my son?" Her son had actually died, and it was very serious. Of course it was serious. That was a dumb thing to say, wasn't it? It's very sad when somebody dies. Well, Elijah wanted to help. He took her son upstairs and he prayed to God. He asked God to give the boy life again, and God heard Elijah's prayers. That doesn't happen very often. This was a very, very special thing that took place. But God had promised that he would help them to make it through until the time when there was food again. And sure enough, God kept his promise. And Elijah was good enough to know that, smart enough to know that God would keep his promise. And he trusted God with that. And he reminded him of that. Let me read on. Elijah brought the boy back to his mother. The woman was very happy to have her son back. Don't you think they'd be happy? They'd be extremely happy. They'd be jumping up and down and hugging each other and shouting, "Yippee, yahoo, ha, ha!" All sorts of good things. And the mother and son hugged each other. Then she said, "Now I know that you speak the truth, and I believe your God is the true God." One of the things that helps us to believe is when we see that God really does answer prayers. And sometimes he doesn't answer them the way we expect, and sometimes he does. A lot of times we ask God for just basic things. The Lord's Prayer says, "Give us this day our daily bread." And God gave Elijah and the woman and her son bread to eat every day. There are things that we have all around us, and times that God answers our prayers all the time. And we're so used to it, we even forget. But sometimes something big happens, like this. And it's great, and it's easy to say, thank you for the big things. But it's good to remember to say thank you for the normal things and the small things. the things we're used to, because God does those for us too. And one thing God can do is give you a good night's sleep. So why don't you go ahead and go to sleep, and in the morning, when you have your breakfast, remember to say thank you to God. See you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.